It's a raccoon with a talk show slinging culture facts you might not know. From the biggest flops to the greatest hits, this is Trash Can Tidbits.
Hey guys, I'm your Trash Panda host, Beaton, and welcome back to another episode of Trash Can Tidbits. Last week I asked the question, what is Judy Hopps' middle name? The answer is Laverne. I'm really surprised a lot of you guys got this, considering that her full name is not said in the film at all, not even as a way for her parents to annoy her if she does something wrong. Congrats to those of you who got it, you all get a popsicle for your efforts. Now with that address, let's get started with fact number 1. Did you know that Calloway wanted to sing his redone disco version of Minnie the Moocher for the Blues Brothers? Calloway was a well-known jazz and bebop bandleader in the 1940s, and he was hired for the Blues Brothers because of his high-energy style, which he brought to his performing. However, when he learned that the movie's producers wanted him to sing his hit song, Minnie the Moocher, in the original jazz style, he objected heavily because he had just done a re-recorded disco version and wanted to sing that instead. It took a lot of convincing for him to do it the way it was originally intended, and he did, even in his trademark white zoot suit. Fact 2 comes from my friend and fellow raccoon, Randy Ringtail. Did you know that Disney voice legend Eileen Woods was the first actress to have officially played 2 Disney princesses? Woods is best known as the voice of Cinderella, but she also played Snow White for a Disney record released by RCA in 1949, about a year before Cinderella was even released. The same record also featured Eleanor Audley as the evil queen, and Audley, of course, will go on to play the stepmother in Cinderella and Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty. So, Woods got to play 2 Disney princesses, and Audley got to play 3 iconic Disney villains. Later on, RCA would go on to make a Further Adventures record of Snow White, in which Snow's original voice actress, Adriana Caselotti, would return to play her one more time. Thanks for that fact, Randy. That was actually really cool. Fact 3. Did you know that there was a video game sequel to John Woo's action classic Hard Boiled? The film was an action shoot-'em-up extravaganza starring Chow Yun-fat as Inspector Tequila Yoon, a hard-boiled detective going on a Dirty Harry-style quest across Hong Kong to avenge the death of his partner. The video game sequel, Stranglehold, was released in 2007 and featured Chow reprising his role as well as John Woo himself, and was the first project they collaborated on since Hard Boiled. The game was a third-person shooter that was full of Woo's trademark slow-motion and gung-fu style shooting skills, and was released by Midway, who was known at the time for the Mortal Kombat games. Although the game was a financial success, a sequel was cancelled due to Midway's bankruptcy and closure. Fortunately, the PC version of Stranglehold was released in 2019 on GOG, so you can actually go and play it right now. Fact 4. Did you know that the original cast of the Mission Impossible TV series was going to be featured in the original movie alongside Tom Cruise at one point? The catch was, they were all going to be killed at the beginning, very much like what happens in the final film. As a result, original cast members such as Peter Graves, Martin Landau, and Barbara Bain all turned down their roles. Graves' character, Jim Phelps, was recast with Jon Voight, and he became the main villain instead, which in turn made a lot of fans of the TV show angry. In addition to this, a major director of the TV series was hired at one point to be a consultant, but director Brian De Palma convinced him to leave because he wasn't going to make the movie anything like the original TV show. Fact 5. Did you know that while the movie Wild Wild West contains an anecdote on the origins of Will Smith's character James West, Kevin Kline's character Artemis Gordon does not? It's explained in the movie that West was a runaway slave who was raised by Native Americans and then became a Civil War veteran. However, the movie's junior novelization does in fact contain Gordon's origin story. As he tells it, he was an actor on the stage and was inspired to become a government agent after witnessing John Wilkes Booth assassinate Abraham Lincoln and failing to stop him. This explains the character's reputation as a master of disguise and vocal mimicry, all the hallmarks of a classically trained actor. Fact 6. Did you know that in the movie Coming to America, the McDowell's restaurant, being a blatant copy of McDonald's, actually spilled over into real life while the movie was being made? During filming, Photographers from a real McDonald's not far from the filming location came by and took photos to show their lawyers. The New York branch of McDonald's neglected to tell some of their outlets in Queens that a movie featuring a knockoff restaurant was filming there. So, just as in the movie, photographers would be taking pictures of the location to be used in court, which fortunately never came to pass. Ironically, the building that was being used for filming was a Wendy's that was undergoing refurbishment. Fact 7. Did you know that Vin Diesel has a tattoo that bears the name of a stuntman and friend who died during the making of one of his films? In XXX, Vin's stuntman, Harry O'Connor, was killed during the stunt where his character Xander Cage is sliding down a zipline from a parachute to get onto a moving boat. The tragic accident occurred during the second take, where it was found that O'Connor was not descending fast enough and he died instantly smashing into the bridge. The movie was dedicated to him, and in further tribute, 15 years later in XXX Return of Xander Cage, Vin Diesel had O'Connor's name tattooed on his leg. Fact 8. Did you know that legendary voice actress Jodie Benson is not just known for playing Ariel, but also for playing another animated princess? Several years after The Little Mermaid was released, she played the title character in the Don Bluth film Thumbelina. Coincidentally, or maybe not so coincidentally, both Thumbelina and The Little Mermaid were fairy tales written by Hans Christian Andersen. It seemed like fate that she would play another character originated by the Danish children's author, and she's absolutely fantastic in both roles. Fact 9. Did you know that an image of a Chinese dragon appears in a montage of two notable spy movies? In the original XXX, there is a dragon that swoops by the camera in one part of the movie's closing credits montage. In Skyfall, which was released 10 years after XXX, there is a similar thing that happens in the movie's opening credits. As one of the locations in the movie takes place in Macau, in China, there are dragons that swoop by as well. Finally, Fact 10 comes again from my friend Randy Ringtail. Did you know that the famous chase from the Blues Brothers, which takes place in a mall, was filmed in a real mall? To be specific, the now closed Dixie Square Mall in the Chicago suburb of Harvey, Illinois. Some of the storefronts did not want to have their names featured in the film though. For example, the Toys R Us that was shown at the beginning was actually a Walgreens in real life, so they had to change that accordingly. I guess Walgreens refused to allow their name to be used because they didn't want to be known as a drive-through pharmacy. Thanks for your trivia suggestions, Randy. I think that really helped me this week. And here's this week's trivia question. The Pink Panther movies are still comedy masterpieces that take viewers to very exotic locations. The Pink Panther diamond itself, which is a plot device for most of the movies, comes from a fictional country that is sort of a mashup between Egypt and Afghanistan and pops up in various films in the franchise. At the beginning of The Return of the Pink Panther, for example, the diamond is stolen from this country's museum. My question to you is, what fictional country is the Pink Panther diamond from? And there we go for this week. I hope everyone enjoyed this list. Definitely stay tuned for more. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell for future video notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.